Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the Bluurp Founder Story series, hosted by myself, Daryl Austin. And today, I have the pleasure to interview the co-founder of the Professional Chiller web series, as well as the creator, Arlis Michaels out of New York City, man. I'm a big fan of the show. And today's interview is going to be focused on his background on how he got into creating web series and content in reference to that, and digging into a little of his background about his journey from being a top high school basketball prospect and crossing over into music and video, man. So without further ado, Arlis Michaels, man, welcome to the show and thanks for taking time out today, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I'm here, man. I'm just working, trying to stay consistent. As I said, you want to dwell on first. Basketball was always my first love, of course.
Well, hold that thought. We're going to get into that, man. So actually, my first question is going to be, so for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are, man. Where you from, where you were raised at, and you can get into that now.
I bounced around a lot as a kid. I was mainly raised in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. My childhood.
Yep.
I was born in the Bronx. I moved to Brooklyn at 9.
Yep.
So I lived there, and then my mother's in the military, so I stayed there for like 4 or 5 years. Then she sent me to my grandparents for 2.5 years, 3 years, right, in Roosevelt, Long Island. Okay. And then when she came back, I moved back with my mom's. So I bounced around a little minute, but I rep Bed-Stuy, Bed-Stuy. That's what I mainly grew up at. So that's the foundation for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, do or die, Bed-Stuy, man. You grew up around some legends, Big Daddy Kane. Big Smalls, man. It's crazy.
Still in Tech, Smith and Wesson. Yeah, I'm from the same block as Jackie Robinson. I grew up on the same block that Jackie Robinson is from, McDonough Street. I'm from McDonough Street and Malcolm X Boulevard.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So for those that are not from New York out there, he's talking about the streets in Bed-Stuy that are well known, where some legends grew up at, where he lived. So yeah, Arlis, you came from great stock, man. So you're already destined to be great, man. And I see you put yourself out there. So let's dig a little bit into high school and basketball. So I see you were a top high school basketball prospect out of NYC during the 90s. Where did you play high school? Man. Where did you play high school ball at?
I went to Bishop Ford High School, and then I eventually went to Canterbury Prep School. I wish I'd have went there from the door. I wish I'd have did my whole high school in prep, just because it was just a good experience, and I was on my own, and I was able to focus. I couldn't focus going to school in New York. It was just too much distractions, girls, streets.
Right.
It was just too much. So I didn't even realize how smart I was until I got to prep school, because now I had a chance to focus. I was a pretty much horrible student, because I never applied myself. So I went there and excelled. I was like a late bloomer because I was short early.
Right.
And then I grew. I started playing AAU basketball with a lot of prestigious AAU teams. The Long Island Panthers, Brooklyn USA,
right.
Connecticut Select, USDBL with Mickey Walker.
Yeah.
The New York Sky Riders with Amir Sultan. So I played a lot of
Amir Sultan. Wow, that's a small world, man. So this interview is about you, but you know something? I grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up in Far Rock. So in the PAL, I grew up, playing under Amir Sultan.
Amir Sultan, man. I'm trying to find that guy to this day, man. He was a good dude, man.
Yeah, man. I can plug you in. We're connected with him on Facebook. But yeah, man, I played with the Chet Kings, the Sharon Browns, the Sharif Townsends. I grew up watching those guys, and we all come from the same area in Rockaway. And yeah,
I remember Sharif. He played the one that played for St. John's, right?
Yeah.
Sharif was tough.
Yeah, they were like my Sharif was like my bigger brother or whatever. Me, Chet, and Sharon, we're kind of like peers, but off by like a couple of years.
I actually played with Tim Butler. He was from Redfern.
Yeah. No, Tim, man. I haven't seen him in quite some time, but yeah, all of them, we came from the Rock, and we used to go play in the L, and Amir was running the L at the time, and he really took Rockaway basketball to the next
Yeah,
level.
he was a tough guy. He was the one. He was the one that made me, like really believed in me because like he knew I had a good jump shot. He's like, man, I don't care, just keep shooting the ball. Right?
Yeah.
And then from there, I just became like a little Chuck. But I liked it, man. Man, was good people.
Look at that small world, man. My basketball stopped after high school, but yeah, who would have thought, Rockaway will come up in the conversation from your upbringing. But yeah, man, shout out to Far Rock, my hometown, all the ballers out there, the legends, Amir Sultan. And glad you got to play with Amir and learn some stuff from him, man. Very good dude. So, what position did you play in high school? And, were you like considered a top prospect where you were like a McDonald's All-American honorable mention?
Nah, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I wasn't a McDonald's All-American. I would have loved to be. But I played mostly combo guard 1 and 2, and then sometimes played 3, like it'd be a 3-guard offense. I was ranked high in the New England League, like in a prep league. I was ranked number 6 out of like 100.
Wow.
Like Zach Marbury, Shea Cotton, all of them was playing in, prep school at that time. I kind of blossomed late. I really started to blossom like going into like my senior year.
Right.
I was like kind of caught, like lost in the sauce before that. It was just so competitive. But, once I got really going, I eventually got a lot of, a couple offers. And then, the rest was history.
Right.
If I'd have bad knees, man, you never know, man. I had bad knees that I found out later on.
Yeah.
That my real father, he had bad knees.
Right.
And that kind of derailed me a little bit. But it was all good because I started to grow real love for hip hop.
Yeah. And
I started losing focus like of basketball because I started, to love hip hop and music, and that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into your transition from basketball to hip hop. Yeah. So you played high school basketball. You did well in that, and you earned a couple of scholarships, and you wound up at Wilberforce University at HBCU. How was that experience playing college ball on at Wilberforce, and how was the competition?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was like one of the best experiences, man, because like, I never been to a black college. So, because I was supposed to go to California. I was supposed to go to Cal State Sacramento. I committed there. But, as I said, I didn't have the SAT score.
Right.
I couldn't score. So now this school came in. So I was like, you know what, man, I'll just go here. I went to visit. I liked it. And, rest was pretty much history after that.
Absolutely. So you was telling me behind the scenes that you only played 2 years. What made you stop after your second year of playing ball?
No, I played 2 years there and then I transferred because I wanted to do music and there was no outlet for music and my coach wound up leaving. So I went back to New York. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play in like Purchase. And I went back to New York because, they had good music conservatory. I wanted to get into music. There was no recording studios out there.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, look, I started looking at it like, I started to lose the love for basketball. I still was playing it, but I'm like, I wasn't thinking about the NBA no more. So I'm like, I got to look at a plan B. Right. So I grew to love for like music and film and stuff like that. So I wanted to be, like, I went to school with a lot of famous people, like Amanda Seales. She's doing her thing. She's on Insecure.
Yep.
I went to school with the African guy that was in Barbershop.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever seen like Carlito's Way, the one with Puffy in it. The guy that played Reggie. Yeah. The guy that played Reggie, he was there. Nina Sky was there. There's my guy Royce Johnson. He's in The Punisher and the joint with Life. That's on ABC. He's in that. There's a couple of people. So like I'm just aspect and trying to just get things popping.
No, absolutely, man. And so no, that's good to hear. You come from good stock, man. You managed to connect with some high level folks that's still doing it big today in the entertainment world. But what was the aha moment that convinced you that the time at that moment was for you to go move into music? You was just because some folks out there when they're playing ball, some folks are in denial, like I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna try to go overseas, but you kind of saw early.
I mean, I had offers to go overseas. It just at that time I was like, man, to go to a whole nother country for $5,000 a month. Right. I was like, I mean, it's still money. I kind of regret it. I should at least did it for 1 year just to do it. Right. So I should have did it, but
okay. So
I was just like, I don't know. I just was like, I don't know. I just kind of lost the interest. I should have did it though. I regret it to this day. I should have did it at least 1 year.
I hear you, man. We all have some regrets and things we wish we could have pursued, but you still came out on top. But I want to talk about this transition with music. So at the time that you was pursuing music, it was the golden era of hip hop and R&B at the time that many folks will argue and say, what made you want to throw your hat in the ring at that point? Was it something to explore? Was it something you really wanted to do? Yeah, talk a little bit more about that.
I just wanted, as I said, I always like music, I always like entertainment. So it was an easy transition for me. Mm-hmm. And then I like to compete, man. I like to, go out and spit with some of the best. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a no-brainer for me.
Okay, cool. So who were some of your favorite artists at the time that you looked up to or that you aspired to be like, when you were starting out in your journey?
Lord Finesse, Big Daddy Kane, Biggie Smalls, Nas, Jay-Z. Yeah. LL Cool J, my favorite artist. So.
Yeah, New York City born and bred, man. Lord Finesse, man, that's that dude right there, man.
Lord Finesse don't get enough credit, man. He don't get the credit he deserves, man.
Yeah, I still listen to that DITC album, man, and he cut up on that album, man, with Big Pun and Big L and Fat Joe. Oh yeah. I hear you.
Now, he never got the credit he deserves.
Nah, never. Very true. Very underrated. One of the underrated lyricists, in my opinion, of all time. So how long have you been doing music? Like how many years now?
I've been doing this since a late teenager, but I was like off and on. My friends kind of got me into it. They was very nice, and they kind of influenced me to rap. One of my guys, Lalo, he was out in Roosevelt, Long Island. Mm-hmm. And two of my guys I grew up with, Billions and Mo Chips. So they kind of they kind of pursued me to do music.
Okay. No, that's what's up, man, and that's good, and you stuck with it, obviously, and so before we get into to your next endeavor, how come you didn't put out an album or try to go with a big record label? And was there any issues with that, or is there something you didn't want to do?
I mean, the deals are just messed up, so the deals are just bad.
Right. No, I understand. So you stayed independent, made your own mixtapes, kind of controlled your creative genius. I totally get that. All right. So yeah, let's move on to what folks want to hear, especially myself, man. So you have this web series, that happens to be one not only popular, but one of the top urban web series globally on YouTube called The Professional Chiller. One of my favorite web series out there. Where did the idea and concept come from to create this web series in particular?
My man gave me the name. One of my friends, Act Murder. Mm-hmm. He used to always just say that, like, yo, man, you just too cool for school. You be like, and I just cut it off and just put Chiller.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I want you to talk a little bit more. So yeah, you got this name. But how did you come about assembling the cast? Was it friends you grew up with?
It was easy because everybody used to come to my house. So everybody used to come to my house. So it was kind of easy for me.
Okay, so you was just too cool for school, brother. I can definitely see that, and I co-signed that. The Professional Chiller, all your friends got together. But I don't want to make it seem like it's that easy because there's many folks who try to create such a web series.
It ain't easy at all, man. It's not easy at all.
I can bet. So
It's time consuming. It's not easy at all.
nah, absolutely. So I'm sure there's some folks out there, who are aspiring YouTube content creators and are wondering what are some equipment that you and the crew use to shoot and edit scenes for the show. Are there particular cameras? Is there apps on your phone? Can you kind of give us some insight or some tips on that?
Well, my guy, Calico Lou, I met him through one of the cast members, and
Okay.
he's one of the toughest. He's one of the best like directors I could ask for. He works extremely hard.
Hmm.
So
But when you guys are shooting scenes, how is it being shot? Is it a particular camera that's being used?
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know what camera. He uses like I think a Canon. I don't know which one though.
Okay. No, that's great. So, okay, so there's some intelligence with it that you're not just shooting it from your iPhone with iMovie. You do
Oh
have
no,
to,
no, 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 no.
right. So
Nope.
you do have to invest some equipment, and that's what I wanted you to confirm. And I'm glad you mentioned that or whatever. So yeah, man, I love the storylines on the show. It's very hilarious. I stay cracking up. I love the parody that you guys are doing. With mimicking street life and the comedy put into it. It's crazy and it's funny and it works. So, who helps to come up with these different storylines and the concepts throughout your shows?
I mean, I do. I mean, I just, I'm just like, I have like a dope sense of humor. So
So you're the creative person that comes up with the concepts, and you kind of coach folks into getting online to do it.
yeah,
Okay. Nah, that's cool, man. Because there's some folks out there, doing these web series. They say they do all this writing, they do a lot of research, and the fact that you have these concepts in your head, which is very genius in itself, and you come up with the storylines probably based on your experience and your friends. That's great that you are able to tell that story because a lot of folks can't do that. So no, that's awesome, man. So now we want to talk about your brand. So, you have quite the brand based on your web series and your music content. How did you go about building your brand locally and then expand it globally? Can you talk a little bit about how did you do that? Did you have a team? Was it a couple of areas you just worked on, such as your music, and pushed it out there? Like, yeah, share a little bit about that if you don't mind.
anything you do, you gotta focus on marketing and branding. So that's what I did. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna utilize this internet.
Oh,
That's what I pretty much,
so can you give
like,
us some,
like
can you give us one or two steps on how did you use the internet to put yourself out there? Did you use social media? Did you just push out music
either.
content?
I mean, I did all of that. I mean, I was already known on the underground for the music. So once I was in this, it's like, okay, cool. Now we see. And then I use Forbes DVD
Mm,
platform, like the website,
yep.
and they used to, and Doggy Diamonds, they used to post it on the main page on the top box. So that started gaining traffic to my page. Help build my my YouTube page.
Got it. Yeah, yeah, that was key, man, because not too many folks organically just, film a show and put it on YouTube and then it catches fire. So I appreciate you sharing that insight that you did use a platform to help springboard you and your brand. And that's important to know, so folks realize that it's not just a hope and a dream and you put it out there and something it sticks. You have to actually grind and you had to, work with others. So I appreciate you, building upon that. So, and I'm sure you probably got, asked this question based on the success of your series. Do you have any plans to either have the professional chiller or a future web series you may be working on to push it to a major network?
Yeah, I'm actually in talks with networks right now. I'm in talks with Tubi and a couple other streaming sites. Um, I'm on a new show that's coming up called Trapping TV. series, and I'm also on the show. Pocket Full of Game. Too. So.
Nice, man. I got to give you a round of applause on that, man. A round of applause, man. The fact that you're talking to networks to get it streamed, yeah, you see the big picture, man. And I wish you nothing but best success on making that happen. And I'll definitely support, man. Just don't go to Tidal because I'm not trying to pay another subscription.
Nah, I don't think I'm going to Tidal. Jay-Z sold Tidal anyway. So.
Yeah, I know. Who knows what Twitter's going to do with that? No, that's cool. So, is there going to be a Professional Chiller season 4, man?
Well, I'll be working on 3, but I don't know yet because I'm trying to work on movies now. So I got one more episode for the season finale. Okay. And you never know. Like anything I do at this point, got to be like a deal. So
right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that season finale, man. You've been keeping us waiting for a while, man. And I know it's COVID, you balancing a lot, you got family responsibilities, your crew got family responsibilities. But no, your show has been fantastic. You've done excellent numbers. I think I saw somewhere online in another interview you did where you said you have over 20 million views, man. That's fantastic. You know, a lot of folks come up with web series, they don't get that many over a 5-year period, and you got 21 million plus views just in 3 seasons, man. That's awesome, man. So, you know, hats off to you and your squad, you know, for making it happen. So you mentioned that you have other projects and concepts that you're working on. Can you talk a little bit more about the Trapping TV web series you're on? What's that about?
It's kind of dope. It's just basically like hustler females and their boyfriends. So I'm like one of the boyfriends. So I'm like the boyfriend that like lives off the chick.
Oh boy, that'll get the internet talking, man. Oh man, I hope you as smooth, you know, in that web series as you are with Professional Chiller, man. And hopefully you're not getting shot 1 million times in this episode, in this web series.
Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of like.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely dope.
Nah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna look forward to it, man. And it's on YouTube now, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and we're gonna get you to promote that towards the end of this discussion. So we just got a couple of more questions to wrap up on, man. So if you can be so kind, man, during this time of COVID, a lot of folks, lost loved ones, lost jobs. There's a lot of different things happening to folks trying to find peace and stability. So could you share any tips and strategies, that can help others maintain stability and peace during this time that we're living in?
You just gotta pray, man. You gotta believe in that man upstairs and just pray. That's all I can really say, man. Just pray.
Okay. No, cool. No, absolutely, man. So yeah, to wrap it up, man, tell us how folks can find you on social media, man. Tell us your Insta, your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube page, how folks can find and plug in with you.
Make sure you check me out, man. On Instagram, it's Arlis_Michaels. On Facebook, it's Arlis Michaels. On Twitter, it's Arlis Michaels. So okay. Those are the 3. If you want to email me, theprofessionalchiller@yahoo.com.
All right. No, that's awesome, man. No, sounds good, Mr. Arlis Michaels, man. You're now off the hot seat, man. I thank you for taking time out to do this interview with me for our Bluurp Founder Story channel. I'm looking for bigger and better things coming out of you and your team. Keep it going with the content and the shows. You're a very talented brother. You got a lot to offer the world, and I expect big things from you, man. And till next time, peace out, everyone. Later.
All right.